Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and welcome to episode 11 of my Warframe The Ultimate Beginner's Guide 2.0. So, on TennoCon 2020, they announced that they're going to be changing up the beginning of the game, and they're going to be doing some stuff to the Orc and Derelict. So, over the next couple of days, leading up to the 25th of August, I'm going to be trying my best to pump out beginner guide after beginner guide after beginner guide to get you guys up to speed with, like, the current state of Warframe, and just like give you guys a little bit of advice, you know, with the things that you might be struggling with past this point. But we still got the star chart to complete, so that's going to be the main focus of today's video. But then whenever the new content drops on the 25th of August, that is going to be it. That is going to be end of this beginner guide series. There was also a change to the Jackal boss a few updates ago, and I have made a video showing you guys how to defeat the new and improved Jackal boss if you want to go ahead and take a look at that. But other than that, that's about it. So let's just go ahead, jump right into it, and figure out what we got to do to move on to the next couple of planets. So last time we left off on the star chart, we completed Neptune and we are moving on to Pluto. Now, whenever you get to Pluto, you're going to notice that there is a split between the Eris junction and also Sedna. So once you unlock Eris and once you unlock Sedna, you're pretty much done with the star chart. These are the last two planets. Sedna is a planet that is mainly occupied by the Grenier, and then Eris is mainly occupied by the Invested, right? But we're going to be doing a 2-for-1 in this video, and we're going to be talking about the things that we need to do for both junctions, because if you've played a little bit since the last episode, you will have noticed that we've actually completed most of the requirements for the Sedna junction here, and the only one that we actually have to go out of our way to do is defeat Faye Heck at Oro on Earth, and he's a pretty easy boss to take down. All you want to do is pick up Rhino, pick up your Hex shotgun, run into the mission, and then that's it. You can do it with Nova, you can do it with Excalibur. It doesn't really matter. He's like some weird, I don't know how to explain what he looks like, but to me he looks like sort of like a flying chicken. He's a flying yellow chicken that floats around. You have to run through the Earth mission, right? There's going to be stages where he spawns in and he's going to try to attack you, but you can just run on past him, and then you're going to get to his lair, that's what I'll call it, and then in his lair you just get to fight him, shoot his face. He's got a mask on. While he's got this mask on, you can't damage him, but then whenever he takes this mask off, then you can damage him. And then once you've dealt enough damage to him, he's going to go into like a big JCB digger. That's what I like to call it. I don't know why that stuck with me, but me and my friends always used to call him that ever since we started playing way back, and I can't remember what year we fought this boss, but way back whenever this boss first came out, we called him a JCB digger, and that's what he gets into, like a big mech suit, and you can just lay into him from that point onwards with, you know, Rhino using Roar and your Heck and stuff like that. From this boss, you're going to get parts for the Warframe known as Hydroid. Hydroid is good for farming items. You don't need him immediately, so you can get all of his parts and then just let him sort of sit in your foundry. You don't have to claim him. But then once you've done that, you should have the Sedna junction completed, because we've already defeated 5 sentient enemies on Luya. If you've played through Luya at all, or played the second Dream Quest and killed the sentient enemies in there, we've already collected at least one Exilus mod from the Orc and Principal rooms that were on Luya, because I did talk about that in the previous video. And we've also crafted a weapon requiring Master Rank 5 or higher, implying you've been staying on top of your Master Rank and, you know, crafting weapons and leveling them up from level 0 to 30 to up your Master Rank, of course. So you should have access to Sedna. I wouldn't recommend going straight to Sedna right now, because it's a difficult planet. You definitely want to be able to make, you know, corrosive damage on all of your weapons, and for one, good damage mods and stuff like that. But what I first want you guys to do is go to Eris, right? Because you'll see that I'm playing a Warframe here that you guys probably haven't got. This is Mesa, and we have to do a quest called the Patient Zero quest to get Mesa, right? And to get the Patient Zero quest, we have to find and defeat Lephantis in the Derelict, open 3 Neo Void relics, and then complete 15 waves of defense at Stoffler on Luya in a single mission. So finding and defeating Lephantis, he's in the Derelict if you guys remember. So if you go up to this little thing in the top right hand corner, you'll see that because I have Organ Derelict Assassination keys crafted, I can go ahead and I can click this mission that says Lephantis. Now I'm going to have gameplay on screen of the Lephantis boss. I recommend jumping in with Nova, the Heck, and the Redeemer. Basically, what you can do with Nova's M Prime ability is slow this boss down. Now, this boss, he's got 3 heads. You want to wait until the head sort of opens up or does something before you can start shooting at it. Now, there's 2 of them that can shoot. There's one that looks sort of like a cube head. There's one that's got a big long nose, and there's one that has a big scythe. So the one that has a cube head, he's probably the first one that you're gonna kill because he's just the easiest to take down. He leaves his mouth open for a long while. The guy with the big nose, he shoots quite frequently. He's a little bit more annoying to take down, and then the guy with the scythe, he's going to ragdoll you and deal a decent amount of damage to you if you are hit by his massive scythe. You want to shoot the thing that is on his chest, and then once you've done that and killed all 3 of the heads, the floor is going to break from beneath you, and then you're going to drop down, and you're going to see Lephantis in his full form, where you just basically have to do the same thing again. But he's able to walk around and deal damage to you that way, and of course other infested enemies spawn in while you're doing all of this. Once you've defeated this boss, again, all you have to do is lay into him, use Nova's M Prime ability to slow him down, and if you're struggling with that, use Rhino with his Iron Skin and his Roar and stuff like that to keep yourself alive and buff up your damage. Once you've defeated the boss, at the end of the mission, you're going to get parts for the Warframe known as Necros. Necros is another great farming frame. He's quite expensive to craft, but I recommend going ahead and crafting all of his parts, putting them together, have them waiting in the foundry. If you don't have the Warframe slots for both Necros and Mesa, and you only have one, let's say you have to choose between the 2, save the Warframe slot for Mesa, because Mesa is going to carry you through a lot of content in the game whenever I teach you guys how to mod her in the next episode of this guide. So Mesa is just extremely strong. She can get up to 95% damage reduction. She reflects damage back at enemies. She buffs you up, and she has a really cool exalted ability, kind of like Excalibur's exalted blade, except it's exalted pistols, which fire extremely fast and deal a ton of damage. So you want to make sure that you've got a Warframe slot open and available for Mesa here. So yep, that is the Lephantis boss. It's quite easy. Again, all you have to do is go to the market, type in Organ Derelict Assassination, get the key, craft the key in your foundry, and you should have all the resources for it from the Organ Derelict missions that we played previously in the star chart. And then you'll be able to come to the Organ Derelict, press on Lephantis, play the mission, kill the guy, get the part, get out, and then repeat it if you want to farm up the Necros parts, which is definitely worth it for farming up extra resources. So, yep, that was that. The other thing that we have to do, if I go back to Pluto here, and I hover over this, open free Neo Void Relics. You guys should know how to do that. You farm up the Neo Void Relics from, you know, whatever missions that you've been playing in the star chart, be it survival, defense, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Just get yourself free Neo Void Relics, and then you use this little flame in the top right hand corner, select the Neo. So right now mine are Spy and Interception, so I'd have to play either one of those 2. Again, enemy levels are going to be higher because you're jumping up a tier, right? So you've got your Mesa, which is levels 29 to 31, but then Neo is level 35 to 37. So make sure that you're jumping in with a decently kitted out Warframe, otherwise you're gonna feel it. And also make sure to do these on public, you know, so you get to choose between the rewards at the end, so you can get decent prime parts and start collecting some prime sets to sell to other players. So yep, that's that. And then we've got complete 15 waves on defense, or off defense at Stoffler on Lua in a single mission. So again, that should be extremely easy. All you have to do is come to Lua, play through the missions here until you get to Stoffler. And then what I would recommend for those of you who went out of your way to farm Equinox will make this mission extremely easy. You use your day form, you press your 3, you press your 4, you go around, kill enemies, you reactivate your 4, and then that'll nuke an entire wave for you, implying the enemies are within your power range. So I've been modding Equinox for like power range and power duration, power efficiency. You don't necessarily need strength because it's based on the damage that you deal to the enemies that you're killing. So neglect the strength and then go for all the other Warframe stats, and of course throw health on as well so you can survive, because this mission, if you're not going in with decent mods, it's not going to be easy, put it that way. But the landscape is going to sort of change, right? So whenever you complete 5 waves, the defense target is going to drop down, and then once you complete an additional 5, it's going to drop down again. Then once you've completed the final 15, that's it. It's not going to move anymore, and then you can just extract and come out with whatever rewards and stuff like that. So that's pretty straightforward. And once you've done that, you'll have access to both Eris and also Sedna. But you're also going to have access to the War of Inquest and the Patient Zero quest, right? I would recommend doing the War of Inquest first, because this quest continues the main storyline of the game from the second dream, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it unlocks another feature for you, put it that way, and we're going to be talking about that other feature near the end of this video. So do the War of Inquest. I'm gonna show apart from the quest now, so this is your spoiler warning. I'll have a little timestamp on screen for you to skip to if you don't want it to be spoiled at all. But in 3, 2, 1, there is a part of this quest where there is this pretty annoying enemy that is below the floor, and what you have to do is avoid it entirely, right? You have to be quicker than it or take routes that it can't get you. So on screen now, I'm going to have gameplay of me avoiding this enemy that is on the floor, the paths that I took, what I did, and I'm just going to let it play just raw gameplay so you can see exactly what it is that I'm doing, because I know some people are going to struggle with it, basically. So, you know, just enjoy the gameplay and hopefully it helps you out.
The queen burrows into your mind just as the creature worms beneath your feet. With each step, you will discover what Margulis took from you. With each step, pain awaits you.
All right, so now that that is out of the way, there are other options within the War of Inquest, like choices that you can make. We don't know what the effects of these choices are going to be. This quest came out years ago, and we still haven't figured out exactly what the consequences of the choices that you make from this quest are yet. So we're assuming it's something to do with a future update, which just hasn't came out yet. So, you know, I can't tell you exactly what the choices are going to do or how they're going to impact your playthrough of Warframe. But there are things that are there, and you can make whatever decisions that you like. But other than that, the quest should be pretty straightforward from that point onwards. After you you know, do the thing with the enemy guy who's below the floor. Once you've done that, should be pretty straightforward. So just complete that and get to the end. You've got your new operator guy. You can jump around with him, and you can just bring him out in missions by pressing 5, because the transference in the quest is now built into him. Hopefully that'll make sense if you played through it and then you've watched this. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. But then moving on to the Patient Zero quest. The Patient Zero quest should be extremely easy. It's going to introduce you to a new mission type, which is called, if I can remember the exact naming, it's called Hive. It's just called Hive. And this mission is really easy, but it's also really annoying at the same time, because there are these hives that you have to destroy, right? But these hives are protected by 5 tumors, and you have to destroy these tumors before you can get at the hive. Now, new players are definitely going to struggle with finding the tumors to destroy. There is like a big red circle on the mini map that is gonna like show you like whereabouts you need to go generally. But if you got Equinox from Uranus, then you can just go ahead, pick up Equinox, press 3, press 4, kill a few enemies, then stand on top of the hive, press 4 again, and chances are your 4 is going to kill at least some of the tumors for you. I have a little bit of gameplay on screen of me destroying the tumors with Equinox's 4, and a clip of me like destroying the 5 of them with 1 4 usage. So that's a thing, that's a cool tip. But other than that, you know, that is pretty much all there is different about the Patient Zero quest. You also have to kill a version of this Warframe that I'm playing as, Mesa. Shouldn't be too hard if you're using the Broken War. Just run in with the Broken War and start spamming E, and they'll die really, really quickly. But other than that, after the quest is completed, you're going to be rewarded with a thing called a Mutalist V assassination key. So if I go to my foundry and I type in Mutalist V, so I've got the resources necessary for it apart from this Mutalist V nav coordinate. This is a very annoying farm, so you know it's going to take quite a bit of time, but the 2 pieces of advice that I can give you for farming up these Mutalist V nav coordinates is go to your navigation, go to your invasions, and you can check out the infested invasions and see if any of them are giving away a Mutalist V nav coordinate, which I don't think any of them are right now. This is Pluto Forward Manifestation, which I don't think I have unlocked at the minute because it's on Hades. Yeah, so I can't actually access this right now. But basically, invasions that are just against the infested have a chance of dropping this Mutalist V nav coordinate, and you can also get them from, I believe it is Rotation B from Orokin Derelict Defense. So if you want to get them from the Orokin Derelict Defense, you can go to the market, type in Orokin Derelict, and then go for the defense key, and then just craft it how you would craft it, like a capture key or something like that. And then what I would recommend doing is, again, bring Equinox into this mission, and I would stay until wave 20 just to get that Rotation C reward from it, but it's up to you what you want to do. But you want to craft as many of those Mutalist V assassination keys as possible, because Mutalist V is the boss that we have to kill to get the parts for Mesa. So to get the blueprint for Mesa, you just go to the market, type in Mesa, buy our blueprint, how you would buy a Rhino's blueprint, for example. And you just jump into this Mutalist V assassination and kill him. He's a pretty easy boss. Bring your Heck and bring Nova. Nova's going to slow him down. He's going to be completely immune to all of your damage until he takes off this little neck brace that he has around him. Once he's took this neck brace off, you can deal damage to him. If you're playing this with a buddy, he's going to throw this neck brace at your buddy, and your buddy's Warframe is going to try and kill you. And I believe you can actually shoot at your buddy to take the neck brace off. But if you're doing it solo and you're just like immediately punishing him as soon as he takes the neck brace off, everything should go very, very smoothly like any other boss. You can use the Heck, you can use the Broken War. Doesn't really matter which one of the 2 weapons you're using to take him down. He should die relatively quickly, and you want to keep on doing that until you get Mesa. It's going to be a very annoying farm, but believe me, Mesa is a Warframe that was 110% worth it. And if worst comes to worst, the alternative thing you can do is just farm up prime sets by opening up relics and stuff like that, and then you know, sell the prime sets for platinum and then buy Mesa with the platinum, because you do have access to like all of the main farming locations for your relics and stuff like that now, because we've got for the majority of the star chart, right? So if you want to get lift relics, people recommend the Orc and Daily Defense. Other people recommend Spear on Mars. They're both defense missions. You want to get Mesa relics, go to Jupiter, play Io. Again, use Equinox for every single mission that I'm mentioning here, by the way. And then if you want to get Neo and Axie relics, what I recommend doing is going to Eris and then playing all the way up to Zeni. And Zeni is going to drop Neo and Axie relics quite commonly on Rotation C. So you want to be doing 4 waves of this to get as many relics as possible. And that's pretty much that, you know, like that's all you have to do to get Mesa. It's a lot, but it's definitely 110% worth it. But after you've completed the War of Inquest, a little bit more spoilers here, you're going to be able to go back to Cetus, you know, the Plains of Eidolon, the big open world area. I'm just hovering over these junction rewards just to see if there's anything else. You can go back to Cetus. We're going to do this live, by the way. Go back to Cetus. And you're going to be able to jump into your Midget Man, which is what we're going to be calling him throughout the series. And you're going to be able to get a weapon for him, right? So this is kind of spoilers, but also not really because it's a beginner guide. But I warn people, man. I warn people. So we're going to skip this. And we're just going to run through Cetus. Actually, we can go this way. Basically, you want to come to the big door at the front, which would usually take you into the open worlds. Jump into your Midget Man by pressing 5 or whatever it is on console. And then run over this way to these stairs. And you'll see a door like that was in the War of Inquest. And there's going to be a little bit of dialogue, which I'll actually turn my game up so you guys can hear it. Just make sure. Because you're going to get this here in your inbox. Where is it at? Gift from the past. You also have other rewards from the War of Inquest as well. So Riven mods, I'll explain those next episode. But you have the Broken Scepter. You've got the Orvius Blueprint, which is a thing that you can craft, which is from Teshin, from those big fat guys. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about them in the next episode. But that's pretty much that. I'm going to come over to this guy.
From memories of a past that is yet to be, the Unknown knows you as a terror to the Eidolons. This has been waiting for you, to deliver upon them a terrible ruin. We have had and shall have a long association, Demo. I know our conversations well. Shola.
So this is an amp, and we'll actually jump into the Plains of Eidolon so I can show you it. But it's basically a little weapon that is going to enhance the beam off your Midget Man, right? Because if you played through the War of Inquest in its entirety, you'll notice that you have like a little beam whenever you go into your Midget Man. You've got your new abilities. So we just give a little demonstration. So you've got your Void Dash here, which you can do a total of 3 times. You've got your nice little Shockwave, which is a nice stun. You've got your beam. So this is just an upgraded version of the beam because we have this weapon on. And then we've got our Void Walk, which makes you completely immune to all damage and invisible to enemies, which is really, really, really cool. So this here is really, really powerful for just staying alive. And also, if you pay attention to the top right-hand corner, you'll see that as I'm swapping in and out of my Warframe and my Midget Man, my health bar goes gray. And whenever it's gray, that means you're completely immune. So think of it kind of like an iFrame from like a game like Monster Hunter, for example, whenever you do a dodge roll. Think of it kind of like that. And that's kind of the key to surviving like high-level missions or just missions where you're feeling overwhelmed, at least early game. So yeah, that is pretty much that. But that's really all that there is to talk about and show you guys in this episode. The game should sort of be becoming second nature now. But your homework is to get Mesa, complete the War of Inquest if you haven't already, and also complete the Patient Zero quest so you can then get Mesa and then level Mesa up to 30. And then there's one more thing that I want you guys to do. It's a weapon that I want you guys to get. The weapon that I want you guys to get is from the chemical lab in your clan's dojo, and it is the Ignis, right? Now the Ignis, if I can bring it up for you guys, it's a flamethrower. It's not a super damaging weapon. You're not going to be using this to kill enemies super quickly, but we're going to be using this on the boss, or for the boss on Sedna to sort of like skip a phase or get a phase done quicker than normal. And then, you know, that'll be all we really use it for. It's good just to get the mastery, basically. Remember, you level this up on Helene on Saturn. And on top of that, make sure to be leveling up your mods over here in your modding section. Just level up things like Vitality, things to give you power strength, power duration, power range, power efficiency, elemental damage mods. anything like that, that's what you want to be leveling up in your modding section over here. Ignore that rhythm mod for now. Don't worry too much about it. We'll talk about things like that in the upcoming episodes, but that should be it for this episode. This is kind of just a go here, do this, get this stuff done, that type of episode. And at the minute, this account is halfway through Master Rank 9, and I'll scroll through briefly everything that I've got done, just so you guys can take a look and see. Ortis, why are you talking to me? I don't want to talk to you. Feels bad, man. But the Master Rank 9 test is just a stealth test. You can jump into it with any melee weapon whatsoever, and you just have to sneak around some Grenier. I'll have a little bit of gameplay on screen from it, just so you guys get a good idea of exactly what it is that you have to do. And if you're still struggling with it, you can just type in on YouTube, iFlynn Master Rank 9 test, and I show you how to do it like really flashy, like with the polearm called the Orifice and a reach mod, which just lets me murder them from a distance, basically. But anyway, guys, that is gonna be it for this episode of the beginner guide. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it or learned something new, hit the like button below, and if you want to see more content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.